Do you miss living in Brooklyn? And will y'all move there? How you got started working for NBC, my dream jobs. You only get 3 rom-coms to watch for the rest of your life. What are they? Any fun plans for fall in New York City? Love, love, love your style. Where are you finding inspiration lately? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a fun, chatty catch-up vlog. If you're new, my name is Casey. I am a 31-year-old, just turned 31. I am living in Jersey City with my wonderful boyfriend, Ryan, and I work in New York City. I put a little box on my Instagram for you guys to ask me anything, and we're just gonna kind of go through all of them. Feel free to pick up a nice fun beverage. I unfortunately pretty much already drank all of mine. I got a strawberry lemonade situation. It was absolutely delicious, but feel free to get your own, cozy on up, and let's go ahead and get into it. So I didn't really prepare these in advance. I'm gonna kind of just scroll through and answer the ones that jump out at me. There were also a couple of like repeat questions, so I'll kind of just merge those together. But we'll go ahead and just kick it off with how are you doing? Which I think is so sweet, just checking in on how we're doing. I, to be honest, have been better, but I am doing good. We got back from my birthday trip, our big Disney trip. If you haven't seen those vlogs, feel free to check them out this past week. And it was so much fun, everything I could ask for and more. But ever since getting back, I have been dealing with an intense vertigo, kind of like a swaying back and forth sensation, something that I've never dealt with before, and something that's never lasted this long for me. I am in contact with my doctor. I went to go and see a physical therapist yesterday. I have some appointments lined up for next week as well, and I'm kind of just hanging in there, you know? I think that a lot of the times with health stuff or when your body is acting differently than what you're used to, it can be extremely anxiety inducing and a little scary. When I went to go and see the physical therapist yesterday, a big thing that he told me was to kind of just try and do business as usual. You know, he was like, try and get up, go outside, go on like walks if you can, and try to just keep your spirits up, be social. So, you know, I'm trying to vlog and just do things as I normally would, even though I am swaying back and forth as I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to just remain calm, but other than that, that little hiccup, I'd say that I'm doing really great. This past year, like 30 to 31 has been one of the highlights of my life. So I'm really happy about that. Okay, next one is love, love, love your style. Where are you finding inspiration lately? Thank you so much. I am someone that has really struggled with being confident in like the style and the fashion and the clothes that I wear. So whenever I get comments or like DMs complimenting that, I'm always like, wow. I think for a long time throughout most of my life, I didn't feel comfortable wearing like color. Like for the most part, I would just wear like black and neutrals, oversized things. And it wasn't until I moved to New York City and a little bit after that that I really learned to kind of express myself and my personality and my clothes and the things that I wear. And it's been really fun to just like find myself in the clothes that I wear. And it's still a big process. I would say that I love following creators on TikTok that are similar to me. I love finding like curvy creators or, you know, just creators that look like me and that the clothes that they wear looks like something that is fun and that I would want to wear. I'm also new to Pinterest. I used to use Pinterest a lot back in the day in college and then kind of fell off of it, but I've started to pull inspo from there again, and there's a lot of fun stuff, especially with fall coming. I'm getting really excited for everything that's to come. This little vest is actually new. It's a really cute denim vest from Madewell. I've loved Madewell for years, and they're starting to do like a revamp. I've noticed that their stores have changed, their styles have changed for the better. I really love all of the stuff that they're doing. So that's one of my favorite stores. But yeah, I think just kind of feeling out what you feel comfortable and what you want to wear. I'm kind of trying to not be so into trends anymore and just kind of focus on things that I feel good in and that I actually want to wear. Sorry, the sun is like really coming in right now, which is wonderful. No complaints here. Do you miss living in Brooklyn, and will y'all move there? That is a great question, a question that I get a lot of. I will say that I really do miss living in Brooklyn. For those of you that don't know, I lived in New York City, and specifically Brooklyn, for the most of the time that I've been here, which was around 8 years. And then it's been exactly a year now, actually, last September, that I moved to Jersey City with Ryan, and we live in our little apartment here. And I've absolutely loved living with Ryan. And I do like Jersey City. I love the prices that we pay for rent here, for sure. And sometimes it's even easier for me to get to Manhattan, like to the office, from here than it was when I lived in Brooklyn. So I think that there's a lot of pros to living here, but I love Brooklyn. I think that Brooklyn will always hold a super special place in my heart. And I just like the warmth and the charm. I miss it. I do miss it. But like I said, I think that right now, the stage that we're at in our lives, the amount of money that we're able to save and pay for rent here is something that we're just not willing to give up. So for now, we are staying put. I think that as time goes on, rent prices get even higher and higher and higher in Brooklyn and in Manhattan. So I can't say that I see us, sadly, moving back there, but never say never. I think that it's always a possibility and something that we might talk about down the line. I got a lot of questions about my job, how you got started working for NBC, my dream job, and a lot of questions about working at the Today Show. The Today Show was my dream job for as long as I can remember. Truly, when people would ask me what I wanted to do, I'd be like, I want to work at the Today Show. And so to know, like, I have chills right now that I actually made it happen and that I am a social media producer at the Today Show is just, it never escapes me how crazy that is, and how grateful I feel, and just how proud of myself I am, you know, for actually getting there. I'll give you kind of the short version of my career journey. I did go to the University of Florida. I'm from Miami, Florida. So I went to UF and I studied journalism, specifically production. And they had like a news program there. I wasn't really a part of it. I kind of focused more on like entertainment and the production side of things. And when I was done with college, I applied to a ton of jobs. I knew that I wanted to be in New York City, applied to a ton of jobs. I got a job offer on graduation day to come and work for Food Network, and for the cooking channel. And it was one of the best like post-grad internship opportunities I could have gotten. I'm still in contact with my boss from there, Mike. He was incredible. And it was just such an amazing experience. While I was there, I applied to be a part of the NBC Universal Page Program, which, if you're not familiar with what the Page Program is, it's basically like a post grad program that kind of helps you get your foot in the door and kind of understand the way that television works. It's a rotational program, so every 3 months you basically get a new assignment within the company, but it allows you to really network, meet people across the whole company, and kind of figure out what it is that you want to do and what you don't want to do. You're not guaranteed a job at the end of the program, but obviously all those connections that you made throughout the year that you're there really help. This was an incredible experience for me. It was really hard. Anyone that asked me for advice on it, I'm like, it was tough at the time. I was working like 6 days a week, early morning to late night, but I was able to make so many friends. I moved to New York City for that post-grad internship with Food Network and Cooking Channel by myself. I didn't know anyone in the city. I was rooming with mutual friends from UF. And so I think that joining this program, where it was me and like 23 other people who had pretty much all just moved to New York and graduated college, was just incredible. And I made so many of my friends that I still have to this day through that program. So I think it was a great like kickoff to my New York City journey. After the Page Program, I said this was gonna be short, and after the Page Program, I ended up working as an executive assistant in entertainment at NBC. My bosses were incredible. Again, another really lucky and just incredible experience that I had. And then after that, I left NBC for like a short stint, but then ended up coming back once the job at the Today Show opened up. And the job was for a social media producer, and I 100% credit my social media presence on TikTok at the time and on Instagram to why I got the job. I literally spoke with one of the bosses while I was interviewing. She was like, I loved your Italy series on TikTok. And I think that by putting myself out there and learning so much from social media in this way, I was able to gain these skills that I now use at my job every single day. So yeah, I think that it's been a journey to get to where I am, and it's been so much fun to fulfill that dream and to work the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and the Rockefeller tree lighting. I think that every job comes with, you know, its hiccups and its hardships and everything like that. But like I said, it's been a dream of mine for so long. So to be able to get there was just incredible. And if it is a dream of yours as well, which is what you're telling me here, you can get there. I think one of my biggest tips is to just network, communicate with people, and believe in yourself and what you're capable of. In that same vein, someone asked, how do you deal with work stress? It is a very fast-paced environment. I've almost always worked in a fast-paced environment, and I do think that I thrive in it. I've never been someone who loves kind of just laying back. I'm always running. My mind's always running. But sometimes it's running a little too much, and there are definitely moments where you can get stressed. I think one of the biggest things that I've done is to kind of separate myself from my work. I think starting out in the industry, I put a lot of like self-worth and self-value on the work that I was doing. And I think that it's taken me a bit of time to learn how to separate the two. So my self-worth and value doesn't depend on whether a video does well. Obviously, I would love for the video to do well, but it's life, and sometimes videos aren't going to perform, and that's okay. I think that learning to be able to close your laptop at the end of the day and separate yourself from like work Casey and normal life Casey, like finding that work balance, really helps to reduce the stress levels in the long term. Okay, I got a couple of these. You guys are making it hard for me. If you know me, you know that I love rom-coms. I love Nora Ephron. I love just Meg Ryan. I love the feeling of, it was one of the big reasons I moved to New York City, just the feeling of a rom-com, the cozy rom-com vibes. One of the question was top 5 rom-coms, but then this other one is harder. It's you only get 3 rom-coms to watch for the rest of your life. What are they? That's so difficult. I think that I'm gonna go with some variety here. Right off the bat, When Harry Met Sally is my all-time favorite romantic comedy. I truly think it has it all. I think that it's witty and funny, but it also has that love. It also has the New York City charm. It's just one of my all-time favorites. So I think that that would be my #1 pick. Okay, this is an underrated one, but Working Girl with Melanie Griffith and Harrison Ford is another one of my all-time favorite movies that I hadn't watched until later in the game, but I think that it really just relates to me. Again, it has that New York City aspect. It has that kind of corporate, but like back in the day corporate vibe, but then also like going through achieving your dreams, like getting in there. I just think it's a really like inspirational movie. It always gives me the chills when I watch it. If you haven't watched it before and one of your dreams is to like work in New York City, I think it's a great watch. This is too hard. I'm like looking at my rom-com list. I think unfortunately I'm gonna pick 2. I'm gonna break the rules because like I said, I do want variety. He's Just Not That Into You got me through college. It was my anthem. I feel like it taught me so much about, again, my self-worth. When a guy is not into you, he is not into you. I learned so many lessons in college from that one. So I think that it's just kind of like a nostalgic one for me. And hot take, I love movies where they put all of the celebrities together and there's just a bunch of different stories. Like New Year's Eve, Ryan always makes fun of me and does not like participating, but I watch New Year's Eve every single New Year's Eve. Valentine's Day, a hit. I love those types of movies. So I love He's Just Not That Into You. I think it really just, again, like I said, is really nostalgic. The soundtrack is great. I love it. And then I love how I said variety, and yet here she is with another New York City rom-com, but I think it would be Serendipity. And Serendipity, I think, is another kind of underrated one, but I love Christmas time. It just is a very Christmassy movie. It is probably my most played like rom-com soundtrack that I have. It just really calms me down. I love to listen to it on a snow day. And it's also me and my best friend Sophie, my childhood best friend. It was our like all-time favorite movie growing up. When she got married, I made her like a scrapbook with like her and her husband's faces on the Serendipity like photo title. So I think that that's probably another one of them. But other honorable mentions, again, I just love all types. I think Sleepless in Seattle really reminds me of my parents, and it's one of the classic like old-timey rom-coms that I just absolutely love. Sweet Home Alabama has to get an honorable mention as well. I mean, Reese Witherspoon, Patrick Dempsey, are you joking? I just the whole cast, the whole like fun, like comedy of it. Okay, this has never happened before, but my camera said it got too hot, which I understand. I understand getting too hot. So I had to move it a little bit more into the shade. But anyways, that was a great question. Thank you so much for asking. If you guys want, I can share my full rom-com list of all of my top picks. My top picks, there's like 20. In the cozy like rom-com vein, this has any fun plans for fall in New York City. So as most of you know, I am a Virgo. I love a list. The Notes app on my iPhone is my favorite place. And I do in fact already have a fall bucket list that I run Ryan through. We sit down and we kind of just talk about things that we want to do. And I split it up into like adventures and activities, food, entertainment, and travel. And I do the same for the Christmas season too. I think a lot of the times when the fun, cozy seasons come, you think of like, I want to do all of these things, and then you don't end up doing them because you forget about them. So if you have a checklist, it's 10 times better. I think what I'm most looking forward to, Ryan and I always do like a fall day where we head to the Upper West Side in Manhattan, right near Central Park. We walk through Central Park and see all of the leaves that have changed. We go and we eat at, I think it's called Little John's Diner, something John's, old, he's like, it's Old John's Luncheonette. It's Old John's, thank you. So we go, we eat at Old John's Luncheonette. It's like this quaint, cutesy diner in the Upper West Side. We go walk around Pottery Barn up there, and it's just like a fun, it's just a fun, cozy fall day, and I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite days. So I'm really excited for that. We also have an annual tradition where we call it Charlie Brown and Chicken Wings. I don't know how this started, but we basically watch Your Good Man Charlie Brown and we eat chicken wings. We order out from a different place every year, and we just sit on the couch, we eat our little like chicken wings with ranch, and we watch Your Good Man Charlie Brown. We would also love to go apple picking this year. Sorry, you asked New York City and I'm kind of just all over the place, but we would love to go apple picking. That was one of our like early on dates. Ryan took me apple picking, and I remember I was like, wow, like he borrowed his brother's car. I had never been apple picking before, and I was like, wow, like this man knows how to plan a date. And it was so much fun and we loved it. I would love to make some like homemade apple cider. Pasties is one of my favorite restaurants that I go to with my friend Zaina. We get the French onion soup once it starts getting to like cold, crispy weather. So I'd say that's like some of the top picks. Okay, sorry, I keep having to move like the location of the camera. I'm like up on my desk right now. Someone said, fellow JC girl, Jersey City girl, favorite local spots. So sadly, my favorite local spot was the Downtowner that had the cutest kitchenware and pies and all of that stuff. It closed, unfortunately, but they do still sell their pies at Dark Pines, the butcher. And we love those. But our favorite local spot, we take people there all the time. I literally always remember always forget the numbers of it. It's Cellar 335. And we first found this place because they do a holiday overlay where they do like Christmas lights and tiki drinks, but that come in big like Santa mugs and reindeer mugs. But but the food is outstanding. Anytime we have someone come and visit, we take them there, and typically it's just like tropical themed, but it's really nice. It's like moody lighting, really cute date spot, but also to just take out of towners. And it's also a big hit because they have really fun drinks that come with like fire in them, or I don't know. It's a great place. Hello from Singapore. I just want to say I love watching your YouTube videos. Whenever I get things from this, I also got someone else from Japan that was saying hi, like, hi. I'm always stunned when people from other places comment. Obviously, I love all of you that watch my videos wherever you are, but I always think it's just so cool knowing that your videos are like reaching other parts of the world. What are the best outcomes you've experienced from romanticizing your life? That is a phenomenal question. I think so many outcomes. I think my favorite compliment, and a compliment that I get a lot from people, is just that I love to make normal things fun and happy and put a twist on them. I love to do cozy nights at home and like themed dinners at home, and just like take a regular day and twist it into a really fun activity. You know, later today we're gonna bake cookies, and we bought this new like Snoopy stamp that we're gonna use for them, and we're gonna watch like a cozy little video. And I think that you can get so much from romanticizing your life. It's so easy to sit down and just look at what everyone else is doing and think like, woe is me, I don't have, you know, the money for that, or the ability to do that, or I don't live in a place that's that big, or I'm able to have the coolest clothes and stuff. It's really easy to do that. And I think that it's hard sometimes to just kind of take a look at yourself and be like, how can I work with this, and how can I make the most out of this? But I also think that you get the best experiences from that. So many of my favorite moments with my girlfriends living in Brooklyn or living with Ryan now have been those like really normal things, like making lemon bars, that we've turned into an experience. A pizza night, like, you know, I feel like you have the power to have these amazing experiences and to have fun and make the most of it. So why not do that? What's one thing you didn't expect about your 30s that you love? I think that I have loved being a little bit more settled. As I said, I'm someone that is constantly moving a mile a minute. I want to be doing a lot. And I think that in my 30s, I'm settled with Ryan in our apartment. I am pretty much like, I've been at the same job for a couple of years, and I think that the stillness of it, enjoying the peace of it, has been really nice, and something that I'm not super used to. I think for a lot of my 20s, I was, again, constantly running around, constantly anxious, and I think in the beginning of moving to Jersey City and living with Ryan, I was like, what's going on? You know, like, why am I so calm? And, you know, my therapist was like, that's a good thing. Like, it is a good thing to be calm and to be content. And I think that we take that for granted sometimes, but 30 going into 31, and now 31 going into 32, I'm learning to kind of appreciate the stillness. Okay, so these next two kind of relate to like my roots, so I'll do them together for our final question. But someone asked like, what's a Cuban comfort dish? And then someone else asked, what kind of music do you like to listen to, like while you're cleaning or just to relax? So to clean, 100% Celia Cruz radio. I like Pandora. I listen to Pandora and not Spotify when I'm at home. We put it on the TV, do with that what you will, but I love it. I think it just reminds me of like growing up with Abuela. We always used to have like music playing, and I don't know, it gets me going. And then I also do just love autumn jazz radio, also on Pandora. They have some on Spotify too. I love jazz, like just a calm, nice jazz really just gets me in the best headspace. And then the best Cuban dish or comfort dish, my absolute favorite is vaca frita, which when I was trying to explain this to Ryan, I was like, it translates to like fried cow. It's basically just beef, but it's fried on a pan. So it's like crispy on the outside, but soft on the inside. And they usually put like onions. Rice and beans are always a necessary side in Cuban culture. So I love that. And every time we go home, the first stop is always, like to Miami, the first stop is always to go and get Cuban food, and that's my favorite thing to order. Okay, we're here now because unfortunately my camera keeps getting too hot. She's by the window, she's putting in work. I understand. I'm gonna give it a rest now, and I'm just gonna close out this vlog with my watered down lemonade. But this was actually so fun. I feel like it really like raised my spirits a little bit. I love like chatting with you guys and just talking. I'm hoping to do more of these kind of style videos, so let me know if you liked them, and drop down below if you guys have any other questions, or feel free to send me like a DM on Instagram. I hope that you have a wonderful start to almost fall. It's certainly still hot outside, so it's not at the peak temperature that I want for fall yet, but we will be getting there, and I am planning on doing like some cozy fall vlogs on here that I'm really looking forward to, and just kind of New York City rom-com moments. So if you're not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss those. I'm like not in the frame, but I'll see you in the next one. Let go.